Welcome to Echoes of Enlightenment, where we talk about spirituality, life lessons, and overall self-development. In today's episode, we'll be discussing how your goals and dreams are closer than you think. In today's episode, I want to talk about how close your goals and your dreams actually are. They're in reach, but the thought of how challenging it would be to actually reach those goals stem from your experience with people. That's what makes your goals and dreams seem so far away, and seems like it's going to be such of a steep hill to climb. The more people that you're surrounded with, that you've been surrounded by throughout your life, the less time you've really were able to hear yourself think. Because the only time you can really hear yourself think is when it's absolutely quiet. When it's absolutely quiet. Then you ask yourself, well, when is the last time I've actually had some quiet time where I just sat and listened to myself think? Then you might be like, well, last night, I stayed home. I didn't go out. I didn't do anything. It's like, well, was your phone in your hand? There's people on your phone that's talking. You might not even know them personally, but they're talking. You're entertained. You're still not listening to yourself think. You can't hear your thoughts. So you're constantly being influenced and swayed in different directions. That's why I always have the conversations about getting to know yourself. Getting to know how you tick, seeing what you actually like by a period of time of, being in isolation. You have to be able to build internal confidence in yourself. You got to know that you're able to rely on yourself. But most people subconsciously gain confidence from other people, places, and things. And when they don't get that validation from those people, then they feel empty and that they might not be able to achieve whatever goal because you're waiting on the approval from somebody else. But just because it's a close friend, family member, parent, it's approval that you're waiting on for you to make that next step. Maybe that's not the approval you should be waiting on. The approval you need to be waiting on is your own. Or seeking your own. You have to be able to use discernment when you're dealing with people. And the only way your discernment is on point is if you know yourself first. Because some people say, oh, I know them. They wouldn't do that to me. I know them. But how do you know them so well, but you don't even know yourself? Because you haven't spent any time with yourself. You spend more time with other people than you have with your actual self. The majority of us will try and make a point not to spend time with ourselves, even when we're by ourselves. We'll turn on the TV. Okay, these are some thoughts I need to think about. Because anytime you're hearing something come into your ears, you're automatically going to start thinking about whatever subject that is. So it doesn't matter if it's coming from the TV, it's coming from your phone, but it's not coming from your spirit, though. That's what you need to be listening to. Because we got to be realistic about the world we live in. You got to navigate this realistically. We've all found out throughout our life that there was a friend that we had that was talking crap about us behind our back. And we're like, I can't believe they did that. Why would they be doing that? We're so cool. I thought we were cool. I cannot believe that. Just shocked. You're shocked. And it is a shocking experience. Because when you have a friend, when you have a good friend, or if even in a relationship or a parent, the way you call somebody a friend is y'all both come to an agreement. Y'all shake on it. Hey, we like each other. We got things in common, so we're buddies, right? They're like, yeah. And then that's how you become friends. You hang out, y'all got things in common. Y'all are kind of there to support. You telling them things you don't tell other people because you feel like you have a special bond, right? But some of these people aren't doing the exact same thing that you're doing. That friendship you thought you made a deal on, they're not honoring that same agreement. Y'all shook on it. And then the funny part about it is, behind your back, they'll be like, yeah, they believe that I'm cool with them. Ha ha ha. They're stupid. They don't realize I'm lying to them. And how would somebody know that you're supposed to be lying to them, that you're lying to them when you've made an agreement that y'all are friends? If the person who's getting lied on and talked to behind their back would automatically think that that's what that person's doing, they wouldn't be a good friend. You make an agreement that you're friends because there's a deal. We're making a deal. That's why it's two-faced. They call it two-faced. They got words for all this stuff. They got sayings for all this. That song, what is it, stabbing me in my back or whatever? No, smiling in my face. And the whole time you want to take my place. Backstabbers. That's what it is. There's sayings for all this. And then, yeah, the people they'd be like, I can't believe he believes me. They believe me. I'm doing all this stuff behind their back. And what I would say to that is like, do you think that person would still be your friend if they knew what you were doing behind their back? Then that person would be like, well, no. It's like, well, okay, well, you're in the wrong. They're not stupid for believing that y'all are friends when y'all said y'all are friends, right? And they're not going to be like, well, they should know that I'm lying and that I'm not truthful. They're not going to say that. Because if they thought it was normal for you to know that they're doing some deceitful stuff behind your back, why don't they just tell you that up front? When y'all are agreeing to be friends, why don't you be like, hey, man, I'm going to be lying and making up stuff, behind your back. You still want to act like we're friends? The other person would be like, no, I think I'm going to pass on that one. Yeah, I'm going to pass. See, so that's where discernment comes in. And that's where knowing yourself. You need to know who you are so you can discern when you recognize this person is not telling you the truth or something seems fishy, you got to be able to make an executive decision for yourself to let this person go. And the only way you can do that is by knowing yourself and believe and having faith in your truth. Because you're asking yourself, think about, sometimes we ask ourselves like, is it just me or does it seem like this person's acting funny? Does it seem like that doesn't sound like we're relying on ourselves? We're even questioning ourselves. You see what I'm saying? We question ourselves. So that means we don't know. We don't believe our own self. Then you'd be like, hey, well, let me ask this other person. Then you go and ask somebody else. Was it me or was it them that was doing this? And then they're like, oh, it was this. They come up with whatever decision they say. And all of a sudden now we have the answer from an external person, from somebody else. So we've overrode ourselves. we let how we move forward be based on something that we question. And since we didn't know, we asked somebody else. And this is about us. We should see, when you know yourself, you take time to know yourself, you're able to use discernment, and then you can make that decision. And sometimes you might be wrong, but at least I'm wrong for my own sake. Let me get in trouble because I got in trouble. I don't want to make a decision based on what somebody else is saying, because I didn't know myself well enough. So I put my well-being in somebody else's hands. And if that's wrong, then you're like, dang, I should have known. I should have made that decision. But sometimes it's too late. So that's why you need to figure out who you are, use discernment so you can make decisions. Because when you have your goals and dreams in hand and you start discussing those with somebody you should be using discernment with to see if they're a good person or a bad person, or see what their motives are, they have any ill intentions for you. You tell them your goals and dreams, but they're smiling in your face. Do you think that person's going to give you some accurate advice to reach that goal, or are they going to sabotage it? Because they're already saying stuff behind your back. You don't know that, but you're not able to use your discernment because you don't really know yourself. But now you're telling somebody who doesn't even like you to give you help. And then you got to even make sure, what if this person that you're talking to doesn't even have any goals and dreams of their own? Why would they want to help you make it out? And they don't even have any advice on your goals and dreams because they don't even have any goals and dreams of their own. Or if they do, they're not heading that way. So what I'm trying to say is, with your goals and dreams, move in silence. Move in silence. If you have an idea, have faith in your idea. Don't go and just ask everybody about something that is going to benefit you, or something that, that'll bring you joy. You don't have to do that. Keep a friendship separate from your goals and dreams. You keep your goals and dreams to yourself, because you don't want a ton of input coming in. All it does is cloud your judgment. Now you're questioning yourself. And some of these people will just say stuff to have you questioning yourself. You gotta move in silence. And if you do need some outsourced information on like how to move forward in a certain profession or whatever you're doing, look online. Look at somebody else who's doing what you're doing. That'll give you more of a direct answer to your problem than asking somebody that has no clue, but you're taking advice from them. That's what makes the goals and your dreams seem so far away. You're taking the long road. The long road is going through a bunch of people, and you don't know who's exactly there to help you. And this could be, you could have like a super good friend that you've been friends with, but once they see that you're like growing and wanting to do some better things with your life, that could switch with your friend. Your friendship could switch. You don't have to put your professional stuff. Have a friendship and then have your own thing on the side. Because some people don't want to see you leave. They'll keep you stuck. They'll manipulate situations so it doesn't work, so they don't have to see you leave. So move in silence, get to know yourself, so you can, when you make a decision, you could be like, yeah, that's it. And go with it. Go with it. Don't second guess yourself. Think about it, but rely on yourself. Because if it's wrong, it's still good. You learned and you caused the situation to be wrong. But if you put a situation that's yours in somebody else's hands, then it's a crapshoot. You don't know what you're going to get because you just gave somebody else your power. So practice relying on yourself. I'm going to end this right here. Until next time.